UFC Vegas goes down in just a couple of days, and I'm here to give you my pick for every single fight on the card. We're going to start with the first fight of the night, work our way up all the way to the main event, and once we've done that, I will go ahead and rank all of my picks on a confidence level from least to most confident, starting with number 13, ending with number 1, the most confident pick on the entire card. Just a reminder, before we hop into this, picks and bets are very different. If you want all my bets, jump on the Home of Five Picks Premium membership. Link down in the description below. You can use code HeyJive. Get yourself a free trial. Let's hop into the fights. First fight of the night, we got Carnelossi taking on Talita Alencar. Starting us off with some women's MMA, just like they do every single week. Now, where are we going to go with this one? You know, we took Amram last week against Mizuki, and I felt pretty good about it, and that turned to shit real quick. With this one, I'm tempted to go back to the well with Talita Alencar. She's going to be the better grappler here. She's going to be the better jiu-jitsu player here. The problem is, Carnelossi has decent jiu-jitsu as well, but the problem with Carnelossi is her takedown defense is pretty much non-existent. The upside here is that Talita Alencar's wrestling is not very good. It's actually pretty bad. The upside here for Carnelossi, she's probably going to have a striking edge. Now, I want to take Talita, but I'm going to just take the underdog here. I'm going to take the underdog because I think the physicality difference between these two girls is going to go to Carnelossi. I don't think Alencar is going to finish her on the ground because I think Carnelossi's jiu-jitsu is fine. She's faced a couple of really good wrestlers, Pierre Rodriguez and Lupi Godinez. Her takedown defense on paper is trash. I don't think it's very good, but I also don't think Alencar has much striking nor much wrestling to get the fight to the ground. Once the fight's on the ground, she could win top time. She could land some ground and pound, but then they're back up on the feet, and Alencar is not really some great cardio demon either. So give me the dog here to start us off in the women's MMA. I'm not sure if that's a woman. So I guess you should probably take the guy in a women's MMA fight. Give me Carnelossi to get it done. Let's move on. Phil Rowe taking on Seokhyun Ko. I'm going to go with Seokhyun Ko in this one, but I will say this. If Phil Rowe can keep this fight on the feet, I do think he's going to have his chances to knock out Seokhyun Ko. I think there's some opportunities that can be had with Ko. He's been KO'd a couple times, but I do think he's a good enough striker to chip away at Phil Rowe on the feet. He can mix in the takedowns. Phil Rowe's takedown defense has not looked amazing, but I also don't think Ko's going to just wet blanket him for the full 3 rounds. I think it's going to be competitive. I think Phil Rowe could come on late like he normally does, but I think it probably goes to decision. I think Ko wins 2 out of the 3 rounds. So I'm going to take Seokhyun Ko here. Phil Rowe's also been hurt in a bunch of fights as well. So, I mean, this could come down to both guys getting a knockdown during the fight, who's winning the more minutes, and who actually has the better rounds. You know, that's probably how they score the fights, right? So give me Seokhyun Ko for the pick here. But questionable where these odds should lie. Let's move on. Ardelean taking on Montserrat Ruiz. This one's going to be pretty easy for me. But the problem is, the easy pick here is not exactly a girl that I would 100% trust. You know, I'm going to take Ardelean for the pick. She's the biggest favorite on the card. I think she's the biggest favorite. I'm going to take her for the pick because I don't think Ruiz has much at all in her MMA game outside of that headlock throw. It's like a headlock throw and the scarfold hold that she has on the ground. On the feet, she is nothing on the feet. She has literally nothing. I think Ardelean should run through her on the feet. If she can keep this fight on the feet, I could even see her getting a TKO because Ardelean is very aggressive, and I don't know that Ruiz really has much to offer at the UFC level. Like, if she's going to be forced to stand and strike with Ardelean, I think Ardelean could put it on her and maybe TKO her. So give me Ardelean for the pick. Biggest favorite on the card, though, and she's not like some amazing fighter. You know, she's 1-2 in the UFC. Tread lightly. Give me Ardelean for the pick. Vieira taking on Norma Dumont. This is a very close fight, in my opinion. I think Vieira's just pure physicality allows her to be in like almost every fight because she's extremely tough. She's very physical. She has extremely good takedown defense. And she likes to cage push and control you on the cage. Or if she gets you down to the ground, she can hold girls down on the ground for a good period of time so she can win minutes on the ground. The problem is here, I think Norma Dumont's footwork and physicality is going to match Ketlen Vieira in this matchup. So I would say Norma Dumont is the slight favorite, and I'm going to take her for the pick. I just think she's the slightly better striker. I think she can deal with the physicality that Vieira throws at her. If she gets taken down by Vieira, I don't think she's going to get wet blanketed on the ground. I've seen her get taken down. She works to get up pretty quickly. So I think Norma Dumont can win the moments and can win some minutes here. So give me Norma Dumont, probably by decision. Don't be Dumont gets it done once again. Cedriques Dumas taking on Dante Johnson. If you're not familiar, if you didn't watch my Contender Series breakdown for Dante Johnson was actually my ex-teammate at Minnesota Duluth when we played college football together. I didn't actually play that year because I was a freshman, but I remember Dante Johnson because he was an extremely good athlete. One of the best athletes that I've ever come across was Dante Johnson. He was a defensive lineman at 5'8". He was extremely strong. Dude's throwing up 400 on the bench easy. He's doing standing backflips, and he's tenacious on the football field, and he's tenacious in the octagon from what I've seen. So he was a huge guy. Probably 260, 270 playing football. And then once he made the transition to MMA, he was a heavyweight. He was kind of tubby. And ever since then, he's kind of slowly chipped away at building into his physique at 5'8" for MMA. Now he's at middleweight. And he looks absolutely shredded. Looks like he's in the best shape he's ever been in his life. So, I mean, I got to say, Dante Johnson's put the work into this, and I think he's going to be able to come in here and get a knockout against Cedriques Dumas. Is it a bias pick? Sure. But honestly, I feel like I can take my bias out in a lot of situations, and I still feel like Dante Johnson gets it done against Cedriques Dumas. Dumas's fault is that he just doesn't like a dirty fight. He likes a clean fight where guys are not pressuring him and he can just stay at range, throw some kicks, or he can wrestle you up. And that's not what Dante Johnson's going to give him. Dante Johnson is in your face. He's throwing heavy leather. And if you've seen just Cedriques Dumas get hurt on any occasion, he's just going to cover up, man. He's just going to cover up. I think this looks like the Oleksiejczuk fight that Dumas had, where Oleksiejczuk pressured him, lands one good shot. Dumas covers up on the ground. He's not really trying to fight out like through the position. He's not trying to improve his position. He's just kind of covering up, taking the shots, waiting for the ref to stand. And I think that's how it goes. Give me Dante Johnson to get this one done for the pick. Chang Ho Lee taking on Timmy Cuamba. Chang Ho Lee comes in here off a TKO win in round 2, and Timmy Cuamba, TKO win in round 2. So both guys coming off wins, both guys coming off knockouts. Very different styles, though. Timmy Cuamba likes a clean fight from the outside. He has good footwork. He's got sharp hands. He's a good striker. But that's not what Chang Ho Lee's going to give him. He's not going to give him a clean striking fight. I'm not saying Timmy Cuamba can't fight through a non-clean striking fight, but that's generally what he wants to do. And Chang Ho Lee likes to make shit dirty. He wants to walk forward, pressure the shit out of you, get you into the clinch, land some knees, try to go for some takedowns. It looks sloppy. He can make a lot of mistakes, but if he's going for a takedown and he ends up getting put on his back, he's not laying on the ground feeling sorry for himself. He's just working through it. This guy's like a nonstop motor. I don't think he's the most skilled. But I will say, if this guy gets on top of you, and if he's on your back and he's got that body triangle locked in and he's raining down ground and pound, you're not getting out of it. Like, he's going to inflict a lot of damage. I think Chang Ho Lee is probably going to be able to get his game going here at the apex in the smaller cage. I just don't think there's enough real estate for Timmy Cuamba to keep this guy Chang Ho Lee off of him. I guess maybe Cuamba could spark him early, but I'm going to take Chang Ho Lee to get this one done. I think the small cage favors his fight style. I think Cuamba could maybe, have some success early, but I think Chang Ho Lee just going to keep coming. I could see a late TKO or just Chang Ho Lee winning the last 2 rounds and getting it done, but give me Chang Ho Lee for the pick. Kevin Christian taking on Billy Elekana. This is not one that you guys are going to want to tune into because I don't expect it to be good whatsoever. I kind of expect Kevin Christian to come in here and look for look for a triangle. Like, I don't even know what this guy does. Kevin Christian is not good at all. Billy Elekana is not really that good either. Like, I can't say anything good about either of these guys, except maybe Billy Elekana is like kind of a slick striker. On the feet, I don't think he's aggressive enough for me to like him in many UFC fights. But Kevin Christian is less aggressive than Billy Elekana. He just stands there. It's like that one meme. He just stands there. He's 6'7". He stands there menacingly, but does nothing. And then if you throw a punch at him, he just kind of wails his big punches and tries to hurt you. I don't know what he does, man. The problem here is with Billy is he's so content to like not do much. But if he comes in here and tries to put it on Kevin Christian, he should be able to finish him. Kevin has taken a year off since his Contender Series fight, which is one of the worst performances I've seen on the Contender Series that got a contract. So maybe he's improved at 6'7". He could make some improvements. I'm not going to take Kevin Christian, I can tell you that. I'm going to take Billy Elekana to get this one done. But tread lightly, man. Tread lightly. I could see this playing out where Billy Elekana gets into top position. Kevin Christian goes for that triangle choke that he hit on the Contender Series. Billy Elekana just picks him up and slams him, and that's the TKO. Kind of like Elijah Smith did to, what's his nuts? Toshiomi Kazama. Could see that. But give me Billy Elekana for the pick. Let's move on. Some normal flyweights, but I believe this is going to be at a catchweight of 130. Cody Durden stepping in on short notice for Rafael Estevam. Alan Nascimento probably happy that it's getting moved up to 130 because the guy always misses weight. He's huge at 125, but I think he's made 125 once or twice in the UFC. I don't know. This comes down to Cody Durden's game plan. And I don't trust that he can follow a game plan. I also feel like he's just fighting for paychecks at this point. I expect him to be ready because he was training he was just trying to stay ready. He was waiting for a fight to get booked, but staying in the gym every single day, getting the work in. And he's like, all right, I'm just going to take a short notice fight. I want to get a fight in. To me, that kind of feels like you're fighting for paychecks. He's 1-4 in his last 5. He's fought really good competition. But coming into this one, it's kind of his nemesis. Like, he's facing his nemesis here. He's always getting himself into bad positions on the ground, and he's facing one of the best grapplers at 125. Like, Alan Nascimento is one of the best submission grapplers at 125, and he's freaking huge. If Cody Durden can keep this fight on the feet, I think he can win. But I don't trust him to do that. And every single fight that he has won, he has looked for the takedowns and looked to mix in the grappling. Almost every single fight that he's had, he's looked to mix in the grappling. And if he mixes in the grappling here, he could get top time against Nascimento. But Nascimento is very good with his reversals, good with his sweeps. And I think the more that you grapple with Nascimento is probably going to be able to find his way to the back and find a rear naked choke. So I'm going to take Nascimento for the pick. I just think he's the better grappler here. I don't think Cody Durden is going to have a game plan of 15 minutes and jab and run away, a jab and leg kick. So I think they're going to grapple, and I think Nascimento gets it done. Give me Nascimento for the pick. Daniel Frunza taking on Charles Radtke. Radtke coming in here after another knockout loss. Daniel Frunza knockout loss in his UFC debut against Rhys McKee. Got knocked down 3 times by Rhys McKee in his UFC debut. And I think this is a competitive fight because I think both guys are just going to go in there and scrap. Now, if Charles Radtke has the idea of go in there and win by any means necessary, he's probably should look to grapple here, but I just don't really trust him to do that. I think Charles Radtke's probably going to come in here and want to sling some leather because from what I've seen and from what I've heard, Charles Radtke has really good jiu-jitsu on the ground. He has a really good grappling game, but he just never uses it in the UFC. So I can't really say he's going to come in here and grapple, but I will give him that edge. You know, if the fight hits the ground, I think Radtke's the better grappler, but I think they're going to come in and bang it out on the feet. And I think Charles Radtke's probably going to knock him out. But I will say this, if he gasses himself out or if he lets Frunza start to take over this fight, he's probably going to lose. He's probably going to lose because Frunza has a good gas tank. He carries his power late, and he's just kind of a nonstop motor in your face. The problem is he's very hittable, and Charles Radtke has knockout power on the feet. So I'm going to take Charles Radtke to get this one done. I think he can knock out Frunza in round 1 with that patented left hook. People talk about it, but it's real. The left hook is disgusting. It is super good, super short, super compact, and he's very accurate with it. So I think he gets a round 1 KO with the left hook Or if he wants to mix in the grappling, I think he can get a submission. So give me Charles Radtke for the pick. Yadier Delija taking on Isaac Dulgarian. I was really considering, Yadier Delija to get this one done, but that was based off of what I know about each fighter. I know Isaac Dulgarian's a good wrestler, but I'm like, I think Delva's a pretty good grappler. I think he's a good striker. I think he's the better striker, honestly, than Isaac Dulgarian. But then I go back and watch the tape, and I'm like, oh, my God. Isaac Dulgarian should run through this guy because Delija pulls guillotine, and I don't think he's very good on his back, and I don't think he's going to be able to grapple with Dulgarian. Dulgarian's going to win round 1 unless he gets guillotine. Like, he's going to win round 1 unless he gets guillotine, but he's probably not going to get guillotine because he probably knows that this guy's going to jump guillotine. So he's going to win round 1, and he's probably going to put a lot of damage on Delija. And then round 2 starts, and I'm pretty sure Dulgarian's still going to be able to get his takedowns. Then he's going to be on bottom position again. Delva's going to be on bottom position. Does he get up from that? Probably not. So then it's round 3 if he still hasn't been finished. And is he going to, 10-8 him, or is he going to finish him in round 3? I don't think so. I think Dulgarian gets this one done. He should be able to top time and put a beating on Delija on the ground. Like, Delija just is not urgent enough off his back to do anything. And if you're going to be like that against Dulgarian, you're going to lose. You're not only going to lose minutes, you're going to get beaten up from bottom position. So give me Isaac Dulgarian to get it done. Let's move on. Jeremiah Wells taking on Themba Gorimbo, a fight that I really want no part of because we got Gorimbo coming in here off the loss to Vicente Luque where he got hit with a big shot and then choked out. And Jeremiah Wells coming off a split decision against Max Griffin a year and 6 months ago, and now he's 39 years of age. Jeremiah Wells is one of the wildest fighters that I've ever come across because the guy he's so springy, he's so explosive that it almost looks like he has no control over it. Like there's just no control over his own body. But it's kind of hilarious to watch. It's kind of like if Derek Lewis was a welterweight and chiseled. Like he has insane power. He has athleticism to just, make stuff not make sense. Like he can just outbeat your technique with his athleticism. But that can also get him in trouble. The dude does not throw anything at range. He just literally jumps around the cage, waits for you to do something, and then he just fucking throws his hooks and hopes to knock you out. And he can knock you out. Or if he wants to take you down, he can just blast double you, pick you up by your legs, and drop you on your butt, and he's in top position. But he can also be hit on the feet because he doesn't have good striking. He can also be taken down because whenever he throws these wild hooks, he's so off balance that if you just get one quick entry into his hips, he's falling down because he's off balance. So this is just the weirdest fight ever. I'm going to take Themba Gorimbo because I think he could knock out Wells on the feet because Wells gets hurt a lot. I also think Wells could knock out Gorimbo, but I think Gorimbo could knock out Wells on the feet. I think Gorimbo could top time Wells. If he times his takedowns correctly, he can get on top of Jeremiah Wells. It's not a confident pick. It's not a confident pick whatsoever, and we'll go through that once I get to the most confident section. But I want to take Gorimbo because he's the younger guy. I think he has I don't want to say the better overall skill set, but he does more in the octagon. He'll throw a little bit more volume. He'll clinch you up. He'll go for takedowns. Jeremiah Wells is just kind of in there doing these explosive movements. Does it work? Yeah, sometimes it does work. But I'm going to take Themba Gorimbo here for the pick. Disgusting one, though. Co-main event, Waldo Cortes Acosta taking on Ante Delija. I am going to go with Ante Delija here, but it's, again, not a very confident one. I think Waldo could win this one, but it's more so based on Ante Delija being washed. Now, I wasn't very high on Delija coming into the UFC because this guy's been in MMA for a long time, and I felt like his body was kind of failing him. I wasn't really sure how he's going to do in the UFC. He knocked out Marcin Tybura. That's cool. In hindsight, it was probably very easy to predict that he would do that. Third nipple. I mean, good Lord, that dude's nipple's crazy. Third nipple. You got one nipple, one underneath it. Insane. I was shocked to see that. I don't remember him having that in PFL, but he did. I think Ante Delija gets this one done because Waldo just doesn't possess enough danger for him. I think Delija's quickness on the feet can match what Waldo has abused with other heavyweights, where he's just faster and more athletic than a Sergey Spivak. He's faster, more athletic than fucking Jared Vandera. Like, Delija's a good athlete. I don't think his cardio is shit. He has a good clinch game. He's got pretty solid wrestling as well. If he's 100%, he should be able to beat Waldo Cortes Acosta. I don't think it's going to be a landslide. Like, if he knocks out Waldo, I'll be super shocked. But I think he could maybe do it. I'm going to take Ante Delija for the pick here. Not very confident. Let's move on to the main event. David Onama coming in as a slight dog against Steve Garcia. This is another one that's not very confident, but I'm going to take David Onama here as the slight dog because I kind of see it as a 50-50 fight. I think these guys are going to go in there and do what they normally do, which is sling some fucking leather. Now, if that doesn't go well for David Onama, he usually looks to mix in some wrestling. Steve, on the other hand, if he doesn't have success slinging leather, I don't want to say he looks for the wrestling, but he can wrestle. I just think Onama is probably the better grappler on the ground, but Steve is tough to grapple, especially if you're not hurting him already. The problem I see here with Steve is he gets hurt all the time. And so does Onama. But Onama's never been knocked out. He's never been finished. Steve has been knocked out. He's been submitted. This is going to be a close one. I think it's 50-50. I'm just siding with the slight underdog here because I think he has some grappling upside. I trust his durability a little bit more. I think he's got KO power against Steve. Steve's been cracked many times. But if Steve goes in there and knocks out Onama, I wouldn't be shocked by any means. So give me David Onama for the pick. And that means we can hop into the most confident section. We got 13 fights on the card. Let's take a look at number 13. We got Ariane Carnelossi, biggest dog that I picked. Put her at 13 because I could see her getting taken down by Talita, losing minutes, losing the first 2 rounds or whatever, and then losing a 29-28 to Alencar. If Alencar gets to the back and sinks in a rear naked choke, again, I wouldn't be shocked. But I do expect Carnelossi to be able to defend some of the takedowns, or at least more takedowns than she's defended against girls like Lupi Godinez, against Piero Rodriguez. And on the feet, I don't think she's an amazing striker, but I think she's going to be able to land with a little more oomph. You know, Talita's, she's what, 5 foot, 5'1", and she has like a really short reach, a very short reach. And her striking offense is just not good. So at like plus 190 or whatever, I'll take her for the pick, but she's not a super confident pick at 13. Number 12 is David Onama. I respect Steve. I think they're just going to go in there and bang it out, and whoever lands the right punch first probably gets the win. But Onama does have some grappling upside here if he wants to grapple up old Steve. Number 11's Temba. Not very confident at all. Like, I think he could definitely get bonked by Jeremiah Wells. Wells has insane power in his fists when he connects. Wells could also submit Temba. Temba's been submitted by some front chokes. He got guillotined by AJ Fletcher. Like, if he shoots a bad takedown on Jeremiah Wells, he could easily just get guillotined right away. But I do think he's the better minute winner here. And he does have some upside to finish Jeremiah Wells, who I think is a little bit fragile at 39 years of age. Number 10 is Ante Delija. I think he's going to be able to match the athleticism and some of the cardio aspect that Waldo uses to abuse some of these heavyweights. But if he falls apart, late in the fight, I wouldn't be shocked. I do think can be a bit fragile. The way that he quit against Moldovsky is it's a terrible look, but I'm just going to chalk that up to him having an injury. So I'll take Delija at number 10. Number 9 is Chang Ho Lee. I think if he gets his grappling going, he should win this fight. But that's a big if. I think Timmy Cuamba is a good athlete. He's also coming down a weight class to 135, so maybe the physicality is just too much for Chang Ho Lee to overcome. But Chang Ho Lee will just keep coming. He'll just keep coming. And if Cuamba's cardio is not on point, moving down a weight class to 135, if that's taking anything from his cardio, Chang Ho Lee will exploit that. So I think there's upside for Chang Ho Lee to run away with this fight in a wrestler versus striker type of matchup. But I also know that if this fight's at range, like, he's going to get picked apart. So he's number 9. Number 8, Norma Dumont over Ketlin Vieira. I think Norma's the better striker here. I think she can deal with the physicality that Ketlin has. But if it's going to be a slow-paced Ketlin Vieira fight where there's a lot of cage push, then it's going to come down to a close decision. And it could go 50-50. But I'm going to take Norma there because I think she's going to be able to land the more impactful shots, probably win the fight on damage, land more significant strikes. Give me Dumont. Number 7 is Charles Radtke. He has the grappling upside if he wants to take it. Is he going to take it? I'm not sure. But even if it's a stand-up fight, I think he knocks out Frunza. Frunza is just way too hittable. He's there. He doesn't have good striking defense whatsoever. He throws his punches, and then his hands are just at his hips. So give me Radtke here. Left hook KO round 1, or he can go for the grappling if he wants to. Number 6 is Seokhyun Ko. He's a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. I have some hesitancy because I respect Phil Rowe. I love his heart. I like his frame. His frame is insane for 170. He's going to be the much bigger guy than Ko. But Ko also went up against a huge guy in the Contender Series, and he looked fine there. He looked fine. That's not the same level as a Phil Rowe, but I do think he has enough in his tool arsenal to get this one done. If he wants to get the takedowns, I think he can get the takedowns. Phil Rowe's a guy that also kind of has to build into fights, so if you just take the early rounds and then can survive round 3, you're usually good. So give me Seokhyun Ko at number 6. Number 5 is Billy Elekana. This is a greasy one. Because the only reason I'm really taking Billy Elekana is because I don't believe in Kevin Christian. So I don't like betting on those type of spots, but this isn't the bets video. This is the picks video, and I think he's going to win. So he's number 5. I think he's the better striker. I think he could get top time against Kevin Christian. Like, I just don't know how Kevin Christian wins this fight, because I don't think he has much in his arsenal. I guess maybe he could clip Billy, but Billy's pretty durable. I guess if Billy gasses out, he did against Guzkov, but that was short notice. He looked fine against Ebo. I don't think Christian's going to be pushing a heavy pace by any means. So I'll take Billy at number 5. Number 4 is going to be Nascimento. I think he could lose minutes on the ground, which is why I'm not super dead set on Nascimento. But I do think the more that they grapple, the more that it's going to favor Nascimento to find his spots. And also on the feet, Durden's probably the better volume striker, but Nascimento is extremely durable. Cody Durden has had durability issues a lot over the past 2 years. You know, he's getting hurt in a lot of fights. So if Nascimento lands a big shot, he could hurt Cody Durden. And this is a short notice fight for Cody Durden as well. Nascimento's been training for this date, so upside there for him to be a little bit more prepared to fight this Saturday. Number 3 is going to be Dante Johnson to get it done against Cedriques Dumas. I think he finds a round 1 KO. Dumas, we all know him, and we all know what his problems are in his life, so I'm not going to go over them. But in the cage, he hasn't even shown me anything to like. So give me Dante Johnson. I think he's the faster guy, hits harder, definitely got more heart than Dumas. And I think he's going to be able to put the pressure on Dumas and just melt him within the first. Number 2 is Alice Ardelean. She's fighting a fighter that shouldn't be on the roster. Ruiz has no striking whatsoever. She has literally one move. And I listened to an interview with Alice Ardelean, and Alice Ardelean pointed out that one move. So at least she knows that head and arm throw or that headlock throw, whatever the fuck it is, that headlock throw that Ruiz likes to do is going to come. So at least she'll be prepared for it mentally, so she's not going in there and be like, holy shit, this girl just threw me over her head, So give me Alice Ardelean at number 2. She should be able to put it on her on the feet. Not that Ardelean's some amazing striker, but she's aggressive and she's way better than Ruiz in the striking. And number 1 is going to be Isaac Dulgarian. I think Isaac's going to be able to, of course, he's going to be a huge front runner. He's going to be winning round 1. We can almost bank on that. Every takedown that he's ever shot in round 1, he has gotten. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to get a takedown in round 1. And from there, Del Valle is probably going to be on his back the entire round. And then in round 2, if it even gets there, I think he'll be fine. I don't think he's going to be getting gassed out like he did against Christian Rodriguez. Christian Rodriguez is a very good scrambler, and he's extremely hard to hold on the ground. And Dulgarian, I think, won the fight, but either way, it is what it is. I think in this matchup, Del Valle's not going to be able to scramble like Christian Rodriguez. And I think he's going to be able to put the work on Del Valle on the ground. So Isaac Dulgarian is number 1. That's going to do it for the video. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like the video for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We'll be back here very soon with some more content. Appreciate y'all. Till next time. Hey, Job Picks.